All right. We should begin to accrue an audience anytime now.
Wonderful.
Maybe.
I am just
Perhaps.
putting the raid team. Stuff here. Threat level midnight. Gentlemen who are not Ash, I put a couple of different kinds of questions.
Yeah, I saw you were sort of working away at those.
One of them is easier than the other, though. Barf.
Yes, I see that.
If you need to just delete it from the notes, you can.
I have a loading circle for my viewer. Oh, nope, never mind. We're good.
Twitch has been hammered hard recently, so if things act weird, just know that like everybody and their dog is streaming. In fact, my cat wanted to start Twitch streaming, but I said no. If we don't have enough bandwidth in our house, for me to be streaming, you be streaming.
It's dogs only.
Oh.
What are you talking about? Everybody and their dog, and this cat's going to start streaming now.
My Discord just went completely black.
Oh, really?
Do Control R to try to.
Control R? What does that do?
That's going to refresh it because it's a web view.
It's not the web view.
Oh, it just went completely.
It's an app.
Yeah, but it's running a version of like Chromium.
Oh. It's back. I don't.
You did it, Fraz. You fixed it.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
It's running a version of Chrome.
It's some type of web backend, but it's like if you do Control Plus, you can increase text size and decrease text size. I'm gonna get research now to make sure that I'm correct.
I'm pretty sure you're just making stuff up. Not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty sure you're faking it.
So it uses a version of an Electron framework that uses Node.js and Chromium. And Chromium is a version of Chrome.
I don't know if Control R would work on an app though.
Well, it does on Discord because I've used it a few times when Discord is acted wonky.
Why can't I get this to have 4 people on top of each other instead of 4?
Sal, relax. This ain't BlizzCon.
You had a funner BlizzCon than I did. Har har har. Okay. I figured it out. Boom boom boom. I have Porgy and Bess in my head.
That
that's not that's Rhapsody in Blue.
All that
from Porgy and Bess. Don't sleep on me, man. Google it. You can Google it. There's a play or Porgy and Bess is a musical.
Okay.
Or an orchestral suite. Anyway, Rhapsody in Blue is part of Porgy and Bess.
Okay. Not originally, though, right?
Yes.
Rhapsody in Blue, 1945, Gershwin.
Gershwin.
Was Rhapsody
Porgy
in
and
Blue
Bess
not from
opera.
Rhapsody in Blue?
Opera.
Written 1935. Huh. Yeah.
It's now also a copyright-free work.
Yeah, somehow Disney didn't destroy that one.
Yeah,
Even
which
though
is great.
they took it for Fantasia 2000, but they somehow managed to keep their mitts off of it. Somehow. I played this song once. I forget why.
I also
though.
like in the good old summertime.
It's hard to play correctly. I'm guessing you did it in high school. It's hard to play with younger people because they don't get the swing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's very meandering in its.
I love whenever it comes up on my. It's one of the songs that comes up on my my Pandora stations, and I love it. It just I can just listen to it for hours. And it's good because I think it's like 17 minutes on some versions of it.
I did not realize that song was from an opera that he had written. I just thought that it was a song that he wrote.
No, listen to this. Among his best works are the orchestral compositions Rhapsody in Blue and An American in Paris, as well as the opera Porgy and Bess.
Which in the good old summertime
was from 35, but Rhapsody in Blue. Oh, Rhapsody in Blue is a movie from 45. That's why I was confused. Well, that's what I learned.
I also learned because I've just been wrong. And I literally said Porgy and Bess. I called it Porgy and Bess, knowing it was Rhapsody in Blue, but thinking it was from.
Yeah, would you
Porgy
learn a little
Bess.
about music, please? Even though I was wrong on it, too. He says, like somebody who wasn't wrong.
I'm never wrong until I... Wait, no, I was wrong about that. Never mind.
It's not me. I shaved.
We have our first astral.
Shadow.
Hey!
Oh, that's Zato?
No. That's a guy who has been not on my raid team for far too long because he's been busy with stuff.
Okay. For a hot minute there, it sounded like you said, "Oh, that's Zato," and I'm like, "That's not
No,
Zato."
his character's name is Shadowfell, so we call him Shadow.
Shadow.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, he's a pleb demon hunter.
Pleb. While we're like getting up this audience.
I can dab.
Okay.
Yo, Pasha, what's up?
Pasha.
Pasha.
Hey, Pasha.
It has been a minute. I'm all up on your Instagram, girl. I promise you that. I'm going to refresh my beverage. I might just get a bigger glass, so I don't have to do that more.
Just leave your bottle.
My quarantine's going a little shaggy.
Yeah, dude. A little gray. Yeah. I'm going to use the facilities, refresh my beverage, and maybe while I'm gone, you can re-explain the hang up in stuff situation to one Mr. Ashtag.
Yeah. Ash, you've been through the rodeo before, so you kind of know what to expect on this. But basically, don't talk during the intro. And at the end of the interview, after we ask you where we can find you, where and abouts the internets, the easiest way for us to end the interview and move on to the guild haps and the raid info and all that is for you to hang up on us. And then everything will be ducky. The other thing we'll do is the basic structure of the opening is we're gonna do I'm gonna introduce you. You're basically just gonna say hi, something really brief. We're gonna go around the table to find out what everyone else has been up to, and then we're gonna go back to you. Did it sound to anyone else like she just dropped all of her finest of china all over the ground?
I was worried about my dogs barking, interrupting the stream.
Oh, I ruined my cat's night by taking her toy away from her. She was in the kitchen meowing at it loudly. And I was like, ooh, you can't do that while we're going to have a show. And then, she's just making crashing, thrashing robot noises over in the kitchen. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the thing she always does, and I'm going to throw it in her face. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's going to be funny. What?
I got no clue what's going on.
Yeah, no, I don't know cats, so I don't know what he's doing.
I kind of want to listen to Rhapsody in Blue now.
Great.
Did the cat like it?
Oh no! I was gonna. I prepared to make fun of Sal later.
Okay.
Oh, gotcha. Throw that in her. Okay, that's the her you're referring to. We thought you meant your cat, and we were very confused.
Oh, that's.
Yeah, I was like, why are you throwing some of your cat?
That's what Silver thought too. I was like, oh, I got a funny thing. I'm gonna get ready and I'll throw it in her face later. And then as I got up, Silver hands me the cat toy that I took from the cat earlier, and I'm like, no, I'm not.
That's what we thought.
Not
You
messing
meant
with the cat.
You were gonna throw the cat toy in your cat's face.
No, that'd be funny though. It's not a piece of cheese.
Sorry, I'm at a restaurant right now.
Why are you playing the mumblings from the very, very, very first seconds of Mario Party? Or not Mario Party. Oh! No, not Mario Party. Not Mario Paint.
I didn't know that. Oh, wow.
It's
I
that.
didn't play that well enough to know that much.
Ooh, man, Mario Paint's a classic. You can doodle in it and make kind of music, but not really, and you can swap flies. It's the best game.
I remember that game. I never played a lot of it, but I remember that game. Like I remember my sister's playing it.
I still have the mouse. I don't have the mouse pad for it though. Came with a mouse pad. Pasha wrote the word Winston in all caps. Did I miss the dog?
That's the name of my dog. Yeah.
Oh,
I missed
okay.
him?
Oh,
Was he
that's
on
the name of
camera?
one of my dogs. My other dog is named Nacho.
Okay. Winston and Nacho are welcome on the show, by the way.
Yeah.
I can open my door so that they can come in my room, but I can't guarantee that they'd be very accommodating to staying on the camera.
Well, the last guest, was it the last guest or was it 2 guests ago? Had their dog trained to jump up on the chair and sit pretty. I'm just saying.
Last guest, yes, because that was a Desmond Fisto, and they put it right.
Winston's 85 pounds and Nacho's 60 pounds, so they're not going to be jumping on me for that. So.
Not on the chair you're sitting in, the open chair that was.
Oh, there isn't an open chair. There's a bed behind me that they can jump on, but.
And for full disclosure, I did not buy any shirts from the last TKO. I could not see one that I liked well enough. They were good, but I was like, "N-
Speaking
Last what?
we were playing TKO from the Jackbox party games, and you can design shirts and buy them. And I bought shirts the past few times, but this last one, they were good. But I was just like,
speaking
I don't
of,
know.
we were kicking around the idea that this next upcoming game night that we were going to host might instead be a PvP skirmish. I keep forgetting to look up exactly what the requirements are to do that. Like, how many people do you need? Does anyone know off the top of your heads if you jump into a skirmish battleground?
I would guess minimum 10 per side. If it's one, if you're trying to do this the same thing, or like if you're trying to enclose it with just our people, because that's the smallest battleground is 10 per side. So, give me 1 second.
I'm going to look it up right now. Battleground teams can challenge each other as part of a larger arena skirmish. Yeah, it was some sort of PvP thing where you could... Was it Wargaming? War Games.
Oh, War Games got removed. No, wait. Yeah. Let me see.
Yeah, there was some kind of PvP feature where you could form a group and have that group... It was like a friendly, like...
Okay, you can still war game because I found Garishar of technically PvP said you just have to use an add-on.
That stinkers.
Guys, we're not supposed to call out lurkers.
What are you doing?
So I'm not going to call out lurkers.
That's good. Yes.
But there's someone who hasn't chatted yet, whom I haven't seen in years or spoken to in years.
Is it me? No, that doesn't make any sense.
I'm very happy to see him there. Hopefully he understands what I'm talking about, and it's really nice to see him, and I miss him. And he's real tall.
I talked with you last week.
Pasha. She's like, I'll call him out.
As long as chat calls out, because Twitch etiquette is people on these streamers don't call out lurkers.
We've got no control over it.
Come here. Oh, that's you falling.
Yeah.
Come here, buddy.
Give us a
Give me
puppo.
the puppy.
Puppo.
Come here. Come
Get
here.
on camera, buddy. Oh, he's coming in for a
he's too hyper right now.
He's gonna wrestle.
Just know that all dogs are always welcome.
Yes.
And cats are generally tolerated.
Thank you.
Oh, they're tolerated? Okay. And then
Hey, you, come here.
Quick camera switch to chocolate. No, that's not chocolate. That's a Yeti.
no, that's the Chocolate Studio. But actually, yeah. Let me see if I can go get him.
That's not chocolate.
Chocolate.
While he's fishing for cats, Sal, I know you're quite busy. I was curious to know if you saw the Discord stuff that I was doing earlier.
Hey.
Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that. I haven't read it. It's not that I'm busy, it's that I'm depressed.
Oh.
But I saw some of it come up, and I know I got to do a thing. And I am still interested, and I want to do things this week.
Okay.
I didn't read it enough to be able to say more than that as
That's
a
fine.
response.
I've got a
Okay.
lot of time on my hands these days, so I'm more than happy to have a one-on-one where we sort of hash things out and figure out exactly like how everything will work.
I'd like that.
That'd be cool. The other thing that we can do is just sort of like brainstorm and like kind of bounce ideas around to see what sticks. Because I want to do the way I want to line everything up is I want it to be, well, we can get into specifics when we're off the air.
Okay. Let me post a thing. We are live at Converted Podcast right now, and I would love for you to join us. Dude, Rhapsody in Blue is totally in my head right now. I don't know. Allergies has been getting to me. I barely go out.
Man, I'll tell you what. I get it. I feel you. Last week, I was just a snot puddle, man.
Yesterday, I couldn't breathe out of my nose. My mom was like, "You're sick." And I'm like, "No, Mom. I promise. I just..." and it's hard to walk down the street because you're like, you can't breathe out of one part.
Oh, it should be really easy to walk down the street because when people see you coming and they see you breathing and sneezing like that, they give you a wide berth. You get all this, just walk straight down the street.
I wasn't sneezing, but my eyes were watering really bad.
Mm-hmm.
So just like streaming water coming out of my eyes. Yeah.
Yeah, allergy season's an absolute bummer.
Yeah.
And then yesterday was a beautiful day, so I kept my window open all day long. So there was just no relief.
Yeah.
By the way, I took my Negroni and I just made a double.
There you go.
So
it's not like cold leek juice.
I ate leeks last night. And I'll probably eat leeks tonight too. Because I made a whatever you have left over and need to cook fried rice. Because I have all the seasonings. Well, I've got ginger, I've got garlic, I've got soy sauce, I've got sesame oil. That's key. Sesame oil is key for that just like kind of authentic taste.
Oh, I know.
Like not a lot. Like if you're actually going to fry something, you use a different kind of oil, and then you kind of just put a little sesame oil at the end.
Yeah.
And I had leftover rice, and talking about. Wait a minute. Talking about still. Is Anaheim is still out of gin?
Yeah, that is that's a joke for Shadow, aka Catfish John.
Okay.
Because the first BlizzCon he came out to, what was it, 3 years ago? 2017, 2018, 2017? The first night he and his wife were in town, he drank all the gin. Like the Hilton and the Marriott, just all of their gin.
My man.
Wow.
And, yeah. He drank so much he missed opening ceremonies.
Of course he did. And that's like literally that is the reason. Number one, the reason is the people. Number two is the opening ceremoniys. And everything else is
Yeah. No, I think opening ceremony, I still have like not talking about what's going on, but more just like I still have flashbacks to how close I got to people I didn't even know.
Yeah.
We're like standing like elbow to elbow. I mean like at one point I'm like
they pack
sideways
you in there tight, don't they?
Yeah, and I'm like, okay, someone's on my back right now. I don't know who's in my back. I don't know who's in front of me, who's beside me, But hey, Shoe Boots. And I was talking with Shoe Boots at the time, and we're just like, how you doing, Shoe Boots? You doing good? You doing good, my friend? Yeah.
Yeah, I the past few years, the past 2 years, I was with Kevin, the Darkmoon Herald Kevin.
Yeah.
And he and I just didn't go to the main stage. Like, no.
I was gonna meet up with Barf this past year, but I then got there and I got so scared because it was bigger than I thought, and I was just like, I didn't want to get lost, so that's why, Casey, we didn't meet up.
Yeah.
They're just like,
dude, I get it. It is an overwhelming experience trying to get through those doors Friday morning. It's hard to do.
I thought, okay, it'll be easy to get. Like,
well, yeah, Pasha just went to the Overwatch area, right? I think 2 years in a row. I know the first year. I think the second year too. We went to the HOTS stage.
Yeah.
Well, and this past year with the Portal Pass, it made it even more hard to get into the main hall because a lot of people with the Portal Pass went there, and I still have my opinion on the Portal Pass. I get it if you do the charity. And if you've got the Portal Pass, great, that's you. But yeah,
No, I don't even play the games. Yeah, the Portal Pass thing is like, oh, it's like Disney, you know?
Yeah.
Like, oh, great. I don't care enough for that.
Wait,
basically,
like
I go.
What's wrong with you?
I don't like the fast passes.
Yeah,
because it just puts you in a different class of person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Right. It makes you better than everybody. That's what I like.
And if you want to go even better, for $400 an hour, you can hire somebody in a plaid shirt to take you directly into rides.
What?
Disney has services where I think it's $450 an hour, I believe. You can hire somebody to take you, and it's a cast member who will be with you the entire day, or as long as you're paying them, and they'll get you right up on rides and all that. They'll even like get you backstage.
That makes me never want to go to any amusement park ever again.
Well, it's not like there are lines right now.
It's true. It's true.
Line for BlizzCon starts at Disneyland. Yeah. Well, Disney is open in a few other countries.
Yeah, Shanghai and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're going to use Disney Springs as a test bed to kind of see how things go, and then.
It seems kind of dangerous to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am with you.
How are we feeling about a show?
I'm feeling good.
Start. I was asking if we should end.
You want to end?
That was a great show. Hey, Ash, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, guys.
I can't get this. I was messing around with my camera today because I was trying to get it like lower, like where my work camera is like here, so you can see me like straight on instead of me going up.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it to work correctly. Yeah. Anyway, for my work people, they see like a different angle, so they see this beautiful like painting on my wall.
Yeah.
And like your couch.
The troll.
You just see the troll.
The Draenei? The goblin. The painting of the troll. Oh, that painting. I thought it was that one.
No, that's over here.
Yeah, I was thinking of the old angle.
With clips of some sort?
Pardon me?
The painting held up with paper binder clips?
It is held up with paper binder clips, and there's a reason. It's either do that or put it in a really expensive frame. Because it's from a real like working artist who makes a lot of money doing his art. I don't want to be like weird about it, but like he doesn't want to put like cheap stuff on it and stuff. And these are loaners. I've got 2 of them. And I went to his workshop because, dude, I'm in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. So there's all these artists. So like everyone's an artist here, right? But then he's like, hey, come to my workshop. And I went and I realized, oh, you're an artist. Like and then he's like, yeah, here's some books of stuff that I've done before. And I was really happy that I didn't know that about him before I met him. Because I didn't realize that he was like legit. You know, like installations all over the world.
Wow.
You know, type thing. I guess his 3 months in Berlin got canceled this year, but that's okay because he's doing all this print stuff for a big fancy hotel that's opening in Miami. Like, oh my God, dude. So yeah, I've got 2 of his paintings, and this is how he prefers me to hang them. Yeah. This is how he hangs them. And he just doesn't want them. Yeah, they're loners anyway. And if I were to buy them, they'd be thousands of dollars.
Nice.
Like a couple $1,000s probably. Yeah. But he's got some that's a long story. But cuz like if he ever does a show with like that particular like printing, he does like woodblock printing, and he like carve the woodblock to like make it a little bit different and like put different layers on top of it. It's so cool. And I had no idea. I knew he was an artist, and I knew that I played D&D at his house, at his loft apartment, and you know he's just like this kind of disheveled guy, like nice guy, whatever. And I'm like, oh, he's an artist, whatever. He works at a university, cool. Oh, he's an artist. Yeah. Anyway, so I've got like legit art on my wall. Also, I've got that blue.
I got Jaina back here.
I got Scooby-Doo over here.
I've got a blue elf on my wall, like a drow elf. And that's the one that you were thinking about, Barf, which was just painted by my roommate's, who doesn't live here really, friend in 2002. I like it because it's kind of me, you know, but it's not professional by any means. What am I looking at? Jelly beans?
Oh no, jelly beans. I was showing behind that I've got my Scooby-Doo art back here. This is a Warner Brothers Scooby-Doo print.
Oh wow. Warner Brothers or Hanna-Barbera?
Hanna-Barbera.
Listen, when I was a small child, maybe 5 years old, I went to, it doesn't exist anymore, I went to Hanna-Barbera Land.
That's pretty cool.
Yes. I rode the Hanna-Barbera ride at Universal Studios, but I've not been to Hanna-Barbera Land.
Oh, it's not a thing anymore. That tells me Universal bought Hanna-Barbera. But it was a theme park with like Yogi Bear and stuff like that. And,
yeah.
Anyway, did you steal the picnic basket? Oh.
I would.
Hey, Boo Boo, she's smarter than the average bear.
All right. Tell you what.
We need to start.
I'm going to do the Sal thing. And I'm going to enjoy for myself a shot from my Convert to Raid glass. Which I definitely have.
My Harry Potter.
I feel like I should go get a drink.
You have 10 seconds. Go.
It's taking longer.
20 seconds. Go.
How long do you think it takes to mix a... Oh, geez. What's the, like, fruity 7-ingredient drink that Ash drinks?
Tutti Frutti.
What's the thing?
Tutti
Oh,
Frutti.
come on, man. Don't do that to me. I'm sad this week.
Oh, sorry. I am too. But I loved him. He was an amazing person. I was doing that in his honor. I was doing that.
He was the first male performer to wear earrings during his performance, and also, you know, shaped rock and roll as we understand it. But he also did the earrings thing, which is very impressive.
Yeah.
What? Who?
Little Richard. He passed away.
Yeah, last week.
What?
Yeah. I believe I haven't heard why, but yeah, I was doing more like in his honor because he.
Oh, he was probably in his 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
You're not a young man, Little Richard.
No. But he lived a great life. I mean, had fun.
And then Jerry Stiller.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
87. 87 was Little Richard. Hey, man, life well lived. Life well lived.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Jerry Stiller was 90. Jerry Stiller,
94?
age 92.
Yeah, my man hung in there.
Life well lived. Married to his wife for over 60 years.
Yeah.
And they worked together and stayed married. What was that? That was my work email because darn it. I hope that doesn't happen again. I can't do anything about it because I have this whole setup with the USB stuff plugged into my work computer. And that tells me that my work computer, that sound tells me my work computer's still on. Even though it's shut. Anyway.
Cool.
Little Richard, Jerry Stiller. Come on. Legends.
Yeah, we never lose any bad people. It's always the best.
Dude, 92 years old?
I mean, I'm not going to fault the guy
man.
for hanging in there to 92.
Go be with your wife of over 60 years.
Yeah,
I'd say,
we
should be like them. We should leave the legacy that they did, and like we should inspire people the way that they've inspired us.
I can't reach a bar that high. I'm sorry. I know
me
myself.
Either.
I know what my limitations are. I can't be like a world-changing person like Little Richard. I don't think I've got it in me.
Jerry Stiller was famous in the 60s and then became famous again in the 90s.
Yeah.
And his wife was working as a comedian. It's just a whole family of comedians. It's, yeah.
All right. You guys ready to rock and roll?
Yep. We're ready to rock and roll.
All right, cool. Let's run this thing. 3, 2.
You're listening to the Converted Podcast, the podcast about the Guild Convert to Raid on Airy Peak, US.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 172 of the Converted Podcast, the World of Warcraft podcast all about the Convert to Raid Guild on Airy Peak, US. Sal, what's the audience got in store for them this evening?
In this episode, we have Kiss, Marry, Kill, your converted shoutouts, CTR raid progression, and the CTR officer and raid team liaison, Ash.
That is right. I am Barfolomew the Paladin. Joining us for this, for the very first time, no. For the very first time, like this year, is going to be Ash, the, as she mentioned, raid liaison, which I'm pretty sure is how you pronounce it. Ash, how you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. How are you guys?
Doing very well, as a matter of fact. Thank you so much for asking. I am going to ask that same question now. How are you? To the Salmisis the Shaman. What's sheeking?
Well, hello, Barfolomew the Paladin. I'm doing okay. I'm in New York, doing my New York thing with my 2 inches of gray roots. Haven't been dyed yet. Haven't even seen the salon in months and months. And dude, remember our guest last week and how awesome he was?
Yeah.
Mephisto?
Absolutely. And like his 42 warriors. No, 46 warriors.
48 warriors. I know this because I just listened to the Unshackled Furries podcast, and their interview with him was way better. It was like they went to interview school and just what do you ask someone who was like this? And they guys, the Unshackled Fury podcast. You know, sometimes I feel like I'm just like a like a fangirl of Berserker and Navox, but I have to tell you, that was a good show, and the interview was better. You should still listen to ours. Ours was good. Ours was fun. We actually had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah, I'd say each one is different, and and don't get me nervous because actually Thursday I'm interviewing him. So,
oh, really?
Okay, here's how you
Yeah.
do it. Here's how you do it. Listen to Unshackled Fury, steal all of their questions, ask him the same questions.
I don't do that. I roll my own way. Come on.
Well, all right, I guess.
Wow, that guy's a busy man, man.
Oh, he is, and like how much like he's doing in alpha. He like got like the like level 72 of Torghast. I mean, just insane. I mean, and he does like a 12-hour stream with like, oh, I do over breakfast. And like, wow, I've done 8-hour streams and I get tired. I'm exhausted. Like my knees are weak. My arms are shaking. I feel like mom spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. Also, I'm still eating leeks.
Oh, nice.
Also with us, leak free. I'm gonna guess.
Yes,
Frasley, what you been up to, man?
So I've got a dwarf priest that rated multi-core vanilla. So it's been about maybe like 5 minutes, and now you know who's played vanilla. And I had kept it at 60 for the longest time. I said, you know what, with this XP boost, let's get it to 120. So I just last night got it to 120, and it feels so good to have it there because I loved it, and I even did the dwarf armor quest. So much good stuff there. So Blizzard, great stuff with these quests. And also, I'm starting to feel a little lighter because a couple weeks ago I started like doing some dietary changes, and I looked at my scale, and I am now down a few pounds. So I'm hopefully soon going to be down to my pre-December weight.
That's awesome, man.
That quarantine 15 is real, yo.
Yeah, I could.
Yes.
I could lose a tight 15. I'd be happy to. Here's my strategy, right? I'm going to spend some time online. I'm going to research, and I'm going to figure out how to lose 15 pounds without making any changes to my day-to-day life, my exercise regimen, or my diet, or my alcohol consumption. And I'm sure there's a way to do it, some sort of miracle thing that I can do that'll do it with all like without all the work. That's what I want.
If you go to frazzledazzle.gnome, I'm selling this vitamin set. It's like only $30 per day. It works, and you have to commit for about 5 years. Yeah, exactly. It'll do it.
Man, I'm on board for it. I dig it.
And we have our own hired scientists who are behind it, so it's all good. It's all good. Just don't research any of it. Don't look at the reviews.
Don't look at it. Okay. Just take it blindly. I dig it.
Exactly.
Perfect.
So what have you been up to, Mr. Barf, who's gonna be taking my vitamins blindly?
Yeah, man. Well, I've been chewing every vitamin I can find. The other thing that I was doing was I also took advantage of that experience boost and, trying to get all my characters all ship-shape for the next expansion. I have a whole bunch of levels in a paladin I've been putting some time into and a mage that I've been putting some time into. But the big thing that I did that I was very surprised actually at how easy it was I had a max level goblin, and I have an almost max level blood elf. And I, just for grins, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take a look and see, because I know that you can get the heirloom armors for them, the heritage armors.
Yeah.
But I didn't actually know what the requirements were for those because I hadn't ever actually investigated that. So I look, and it's like, okay, cool. You have to have max... you have to have exalted reputation with your home faction, and you have to be max level. And then you just go do the quest, and you're good. And I'm like, oh, that's easy, no problem. Yo, can I tell you what? My goblin and my blood elf were both, like, low honored at max level. Like, they had no rep with their cities. And I'm like, how did I accidentally do this where I just didn't do any of the quests? So I looked into it, and I realized that what you can do is you grab that, the tabard, your city tabard, and I knew that you could get faction reputation for doing dungeons. Like, I don't know if I want to grind all those. Oh, no, you know what? What if I did just like Burning Crusade and Lich King dungeons? Burning Crusade stacked their dungeons all on top of each other. There's like 3 of them over here at Hellfire, and there's 4 of them over here at Alkandun, and there's another 3 of them up there at Tempest Keep. I'm like, okay, cool. So I can just sort of bang, bang, boom, just run all these. It took no time at all, man. Can I tell you, I went from Honored to Exalted with my faction cities on 2 characters in like 1 afternoon. Like it
Just
took,
by soloing them?
yeah, man, you just go in at like it's nothing at max level, like everything dies in 1 hit. You go into like just do a bunch of heroics. Like I did less than 1 day of a bunch of heroics in Northrend and a bunch of heroics in Outland, and then I was done. I went from
Nice.
like just into Honored to all the way through Exalted on both characters. No problem. The Blood Elf's not quite max level yet, but I can put a couple of levels into him and he'll be good, and I'll be able to do his quest. Did the Goblin quest. Kind of a lot of cool stuff going on in these heirloom armor quests, or not, I keep saying heirloom. The Heritage armor quests. Because I got a max level Void Elf, and they just give it to you for the allied races. It just falls into your lap like so many drops of rain on a quiet summer afternoon. No, man. For these, non-allied race characters, they make you work for it, and they send you into this place, and you have to do this thing and find the guy and talk to the man. The Goblin armor set is like an experimental super armor that only the best people can use, and it'll absorb all the missiles. Put it on and absorb the missiles. So you get shot with a bunch of stuff, and you're like blown up on fire, and you have to fight like everything in a place. And then at the end of it, they're like, you ruined the armor. You can keep it though, I guess, if you feel like it. And then that's how you get it. It's the funniest thing, man. I can't wait to do the rest of them. Like I'm gonna have a Blood Elf going. I'm gonna have, what are the Alliance ones that have? There's dwarves and gnomes, which I'm not sure I'm gonna go for those right away. But there's a couple of Alliance factions that I'm like really looking forward to seeing what all these different quests are, because the quests are a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
that's what I did this week.
And I want to see like some of these places. I would love to see like the locations brought back for more. It's fun that like they make you revisit old places.
Yeah, it is neat. What's the dwarf one like?
That one has you going down to like the Iron Forge, and you're learning the history of the Bronzebeards. So I got corrected on Twitter that it's not the dwarf heritage armor, it's the Bronzebeard heritage armor, because there's a lot of that, and it was a lot of fun. And of course, with dwarves, trogs, and you're like,
dwarves and trogs are the same thing.
Yeah.
Listen, I ran Uldaman. Trogs and dwarves are the same thing. I'm here to tell you. I'm sorry if this is a surprise to you. They're the same thing.
Oh.
I think they are though.
They
like,
are though.
Related.
Yeah, no, they're the same thing.
The
statue
then
told me.
That's right. I remember that one. Now
he had a pile of old CD-ROMs that were in a dusty zipper book thing, and he told me. I was there.
I remember that one because you have like the Indiana Jones quest before. And now, if they're both, if trogs and dwarfs are the same, then if you combine them, do they become Trogdorf?
Yes, actually, that's what happened to that guy. He got merged in the Cataclysm, and that's why he's upset at everybody.
Got it. Okay, and that's why he's always burning and all the peasants.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. That's correct.
You have gone way far beyond anything Warcraft, and are now playing towards the super nerds.
I just said the word Cataclysm, so I disagree with your assessment of this conversation.
Different Cataclysm than I did.
That's right. I didn't see Trogdor in my Cataclysm. I'm just saying. Or any kind of Burninator.
I don't know what a Burninator is.
It's safe to say we all understand what you're talking about, but Barf.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Why? Do we have a guest?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we do. We brought someone on especially to talk to you.
Are they cool?
I
think they're cool.
Are they like a high level, like serious business officer within the Convert Trade Guild?
Yeah, almost the highest level you can be. Not quite, but
Well-
like kind of almost the highest.
I
And
kind
they're
of
also
wanted,
somebody
I
that
kind of wanted
the
to talk to somebody without any authority because I don't want to get in
Okay, but-
trouble.
that is true. Well, and this person, I mean, Warcraft devs will tell all their secrets to. I mean, at bars. So you gotta be careful with this guest.
Yeah, that's true. He's got a lot of influence in many spheres. Ash,
Yes.
what in the heck has been going on with you these last few weeks, months, or dare we say, since the last time you were on the show?
It's been a while since I've been on the show. The last few weeks has pretty much been the same as everybody else, I'm guessing. A lot of video games because of not being able to go out to bars and my karaoke night. Oh, I miss my karaoke night. Still raiding, still doing mythic pluses every week with a group of my team. Yeah, so been playing a lot of non-WoW games too, because I can only take so much at one time. And if I was constantly playing WoW, as much as I love it, I would have burned out long ago. So keeping it to 2 nights a week and enjoying that.
Nice. So, how you doing? How's your quarantine? Also, do you have a dog?
Quarantine's going all right, I guess. I mean, I miss going out and doing stuff, but yeah, I mean, yes, I have 2 dogs. They're not here. They were fighting under my bed, so I had to kick them out again. So, but yeah, 2 dogs. Winston's almost 4, and Nacho is gonna be 1 in September. So.
Aw,
Oh, they're just like babies.
nice.
The Bulldog mixes. Winston's a American Bulldog and Basset Hound mix. He's about 85 pounds, but his legs are only about 6 inches tall, so his belly hangs very close to the floor. And then Nacho is an English Bulldog Pit Bull mix. So, yeah. They're both very adorable, and they both know it.
Yeah, and they're probably like, we can get away with it too.
Not with me. They try. They try really, really hard. But yeah, I am definitely the alpha in this house.
And being the alpha, you are the raid team liaison. So can you remind us what that's like and what that is?
So Raid Team Liaison has kind of changed over the years. It started back when the guild first started with. I don't remember if Nate was the first or if there was more before him, but he was the one who hired me into the role. Back then, it was also a lot more intensive. We had spreadsheets that we had to manage and all this stuff, and we kind of automated that system. But these days, basically, I'm there to help the raid teams and their leaders and hopeful recruits to find ways to get in touch with each other, find ways to use the tools that we have as a guild to put together teams, find times that work for everybody, that sort of thing. So I'm kind of a manager of the teams, but not really. Like, the teams manage themselves, but I try to help them find what they need to do what they need to do.
Okay, so what is the deal? Okay, we know that you're like the leader of. We call you the raid team liaison. That means you go between the raid teams and you talk to each other and maybe even help people like get on a raid team. But the burning question, the one that makes my head just feel like it's on fire, and Barf does that impression way better than I do.
Flames on the side of my face. Don't try to sneak Clue past me, man. I know from Clue.
I wasn't trying to.
All right.
Clue is a great boys doing what was it called? Boys doing bad things. comedy. Anyway, Tim Curry, the best.
Yes.
Next, I have an actual question. So
Waiting.
we had in our grasp something that we could go to easily. This is website, right, where we can like head over there and find out all the convert to raid teams and like what the progression is and like the recruiting. Like, so my question is, what is the deal with the raid team trackers site, and why is it still not working and stuff?
So there's a couple of different things. Number one being that the website team, the dev team, are a group of volunteers, just like the rest of us. Unfortunately, some of them have had real life stuff pull them away from the project that they couldn't spend their extra time doing. Some of it was family stuff, some of it was other stuff that we've been trying to figure out for quite a while now. We know it's not working right. We know it hasn't been working right. Then Blizzard threw a softball or a curveball at us by reorganizing their API, and they did this for a couple of different reasons, but preemptively to get ahead of some states that have passed internet privacy laws, like the state of California, where I live. You have to allow people to opt out of giving their information away, and Blizzard API was set up so that you can find out battle tag information and that sort of thing from characters on the armory, and so they had to revamp everything. So on top of the issues we were having before, we now have to worry about figuring out how to now pull certain amount of data from the new API, and we've yet to find someone who has the free time to do that, and we're trying to sort it out, but it's going to be a while, and it's made the raid liaison job a little bit more, quite a bit more difficult, because we don't have this awesome team builder site to use. We don't have an in-home raid team progress tracker like we used to back in early Legion. So we've had to rely on like Taman's site, who's been trying to keep things up, and he's struggling with the API stuff too. So it's not just us that are having this issue. So it's come down to, well, we go back to using what the simplest form of communication would for us, which is Discord, and using the channels in there to keep teams in a connection with prospective recruits, with players, with other team leaders, so they can, talk about strats, about bosses, trying to figure out if they need extra people or what the comp should be for what the particular level of difficulty that they're doing. So the website is something that will continuously be worked on, but there's no ETA at all as to when that particular thing might be fixed. So part of my job the last couple of years has been to try to figure out other ways to communicate with leaders and recruits and teams.
The big reason I wanted to ask you that question, you ask questions that you already know the answer to. So we did have Tommen come on and let us know that there was something wrong with not wrong with the API. They changed the API, Blizzard, on purpose. It was like, oh, why did Blizzard do that? And that made it harder. But what you just said makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Privacy laws. Let's think about what they did in Europe with the GDPR. GDPR came, this is an exaggeration, but almost overnight, and everyone had to scramble to comply with GDPR. Now, in the States, it's more up to the states than it is a federal level, but different states are passing these privacy laws, which
intended
this
to
is an
protect the
opinion.
consumer, ideally, right?
The idea is to protect the consumer. Thank you. Yeah, and Blizzard was getting ahead of this, and changed their API suite in response to that, and that's why it's harder for us now. And it's a challenge. But Discord, it's not as easy anymore because we can't just like plug and play. But you know what? Different than in the past, I'll tell you that people are actually uh, letting us know what the progression is and using Discord, and that is different than in years past.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be that when our guild's website had a team progression tracker, that we could just go there and see what everybody's done. Now there were some issues with it, but it worked pretty well. And then Taman's CTR progress site does similar, but again, that's something that he has to constantly update
Yes.
for new tiers and everything. And he's doing that not as like official guild website, but it's something that we used as an option when our guild website wasn't working or wasn't being maintained properly. And now it's kind of gotten to a point where and part of me thinks that it always should have been is having the team leaders announce their progression themselves and say, hey, we're this of this, we're this of that. Now there is something that I think that teams in our guild have not utilized well enough, which is using the guild or the team tracker on CTR progress, because you can actually set up guilds or teams doing that, and it'll actually track your progress. Like, it doesn't have a fancy artwork that Taman uses or that we used when our guild progression tracker was up and running, but it's just, it's simple data that shows, okay, this is the list of your teammates. It'll track kills when so many of them have, that information. It's there. I've set it up for a couple of teams because they've got some weird management rules that you have to get by. But once I set up the raid leader to do it, they should have no problem. But it's a little clunky to get set up. But once it is, it's fine. But very few teams have asked to set that up because you need like guild permissions and everything to pull roster slots from. But it's certainly something that I'm more than happy to set up for more teams. And it helps a little bit with recruiting because you can recruit directly from CTR WoW progress. But again, it's something that it was a fix that we thought we had access to that a lot of teams just didn't utilize.
Well,
that's interesting.
WoW Progress has always seemed to me to be one of those sites that like you use it if you're one of the top end people, so like possibly for your recruitment thing. But I always saw it as this sort of this thing that was sort of separate from what I was doing. The idea that, oh yeah, no, every team can just build your team on WoW Progress and use it for all these things that you just said. Like, I don't know if that's something that, your common normal mode once a week raid team would even think about. So that you brought it up here, I think, is super useful.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that the reason when that was announced, I want to say that was announced and released at the start of BFA. That feature to allow raid teams and not just pull directly from guild rosters. But again, that was something that we considered using as an alternative because we as a guild lost a couple of mythic raid teams in the course of Legion because they couldn't recruit using our tools because our website wasn't working right, or they just weren't getting enough coverage in anywhere outside of the guild. So they wanted to use that, but that tool wasn't available back then. Now, if it was available now the way it is now, they could say, hey, we're 7 of 10 mythic or whatever it is.
Sure.
We're trying to recruit these and these roles. It's now there, but it's unfortunate that we've already lost several mythic teams to other outside things so that they could go do that, because we didn't have the internal capacity to handle what their needs were, because we try to have a very broad scope of who we help and who we encourage to raid. Now, we would love to have more mythic raiding teams. I think we only have 1 or 2 that are serious about doing mythic content still, but we try to get the masses included, and that kind of limits our ability to help the bleeding edge guys who want to, get those mythic kills down. So it's something that I'm glad we have access to that now, but I wish more teams would utilize it so that, we could keep growing and keep getting more and more people to get into raiding.
And one thing I wanted to hit on before we move too far away from it was at the beginning of this conversation, you mentioned, besides the fact that the officers themselves in game are just volunteers, also so are the folks who maintain and make changes to the website.
Absolutely, yeah.
If any, first of all, I think that's a great point, and I think that occasionally it's a little forgotten how much work is done by people who are just here to help support the community and for no other reason. So big thank you to everybody who has had any kind of hand in any of that. But more to the point, if somebody were hearing us right now as you drive to work in your car and you're thinking to yourself, I know how to do website stuff. They should just ask me to do that. Well, that's fine. How if such a volunteer existed, how could they potentially reach out to lend a hand in getting some of our own internal systems back up to speed?
So if anyone has any sort of experience with that and would like to help out, the best person to contact would be Pat. But if you're looking for a liaison to get in touch with him, you can email the Raid Liaison email, which is CTRraids@gmail.com. And that's not just for volunteers. That's an open email for anything raid team related. If you have any issues, looking for a team, want to help try to find a team, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you're interested at all in taking a look and seeing if there's any way you can help out with the code, I am not a coder. I do have no idea what I'm doing when it comes to that stuff, so I won't even touch it. But certainly, if you have any sort of experience and want to maybe take a look and help out, and don't know or feel a little nervous about contacting Pat directly, you can always email us, and we can get everybody in touch with each other so that we can try to fix what's been broken for too long.
Okay. Did you say CTRraids at
Correct.
gmail.com?
Yeah, CTR Raids. So there's double R in there at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. If you're interested in, well, what we're specifically talking about, like, volunteering to help keep the site up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now and there's no like CTR liaison at gmail.com. If anybody wants to email you directly, it's just CTR raids.
Correct, just CTR raids. I mean, I'm kind of the only raid liaison right now, so it goes to me. So
for anyone wondering, there's a drinking game in Twitch chat. So
are they drinking every time someone says liaison?
Exactly.
Yes.
So I was trying to get the word liaison in there, so that way the liaison would respond, because we want the liaison to.
We were going to make the email ctrliaisons@gmail.com, but we found that liaison was too hard to spell. That was the other problem.
Stop.
Yeah.
I gotta time out everything. From the chat room. If raiding isn't your thing, but you love amazing hairstyles, please email CTRraids for daily tips.
Nice.
How's that tips? As in they're gonna color your hair tips?
I mean, 2002 came and left. Frosted tips are not a thing anymore.
I mean, I'm putting my hair long enough so I can whip my hair back and forth.
No, I don't believe in having long hair. Not anymore. I find myself best suited for being a brain in the tummy of a giant robot body, which is why my email is CTRraids at oh shoot. Oh no,
man.
No, because his name was Krang. Krang was the guy from Metroid. Oh, I'm so dumb at stuff. Cut all of this.
The chat room's getting you too. They're like Crangs.
Cut
Crangs,
all of this.
dude.
And now we need a CTR crane at gmail.com to get to the.
Oh, that actually goes
crane.
straight to Pat.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, I really flubbed that joke. I should email ctrbrains@gmail.com to see if I can get a little bit more smarts.
Yeah. So I want to email CTR Sal for this next one.
Oh dear. CTR Sal?
Yeah,
What are you
CTR
talking
Sal.
about?
Your email address. Congratulations.
Yes. So Ash, you've been the raid team liaison for a while. So do you have
Yes.
any changes or goals for the future?
So, yeah, I mean, with the where we are right now with the expansion is the end legs, right? We're at the end of it. We've had the final raid dungeon that some of us have finally gotten, like my raid team last week finally got our AOTC.
Nice.
Shout out to Threat Level Midnight. So there is a like most end raid end expansion raid bosses. There we go. Words are hard. There's a mount that drops. Well, there's actually technically a quest item that will let you get a mount, but yeah. So I am looking to try to get in touch with a few of the raid teams that I know have gotten AOTC to look at maybe doing another set of friendship mount runs to try to carry a few people and get their mounts. There's also a couple of teams that I know that have been doing some Battle for Dazarlord Mythic, because Jaina's mount still drops guaranteed 2 every run. So there are some teams that are doing that for every week or so to get those mounts.
What's she need
So
2 mounts for? What is she, Marconin?
Right. So yeah, so there are some events that I would like to try to get set up for the next few months, since I mean it's, you know, we've got just a couple of months left of BFA. I'm pretty sure Shadowlands is right around the corner. Like, I mean, it's imminent, right, guys? We're gonna get it pretty soon.
Yeah, probably.
So that's something that I'd like to get set up, especially once more teams finish up their AOTC and keep getting gear and are able to carry more and more people through. It'll be easier and easier to do that. So that's something that I want to see in the next couple of months, maybe over the summer. I mean, who knows how long this quarantine is going to last? So it could be something that gives us something to do for the next couple of months as we all waste away in our homes.
Yeah, we'll just waste away in the afterlife in Shadowlands now instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, so speaking of Shadowlands, right? We got kind of all these people playing Shadowlands Alpha. Decent chunk of people have gotten in. But, I mean, I was in the progression updates channel in the Guild Discord earlier, and there's still a big pile of teams that are progressing. Anything specific that you think that, it makes sense to attribute that, continue it, like just, oh, yeah, no, we're still progressing even though the new hotness is already in so many people's hands. Is there anything you chalk that up to?
I mean, part of it is that it's still going to be a while for Shadowlands to get here. As much as we want it as quickly as possible, it's still, as far as I've heard, last quarter 2020. So we're looking minimum 5-6 months to where it might come out. So people are still, looking to play the game, and still have stuff to do in the game. So that's one thing. The second one is Ny'alotha is not an easy raid tier. There are a couple of bosses that really are walls when it comes to needing mechanics checks or needing DPS checks. So like when TLM killed N'Zoth last week, we actually got Carapace and N'Zoth down the same night for the first time. And Carapace, I want to say we might have one-shot Carapace because we're pretty over-geared for the content because a lot of us have been doing Mythic Plus and getting better gear than Heroic drops anyways. But then N'Zoth took us the rest of the night to do it, almost 4 hours of raid time. And we actually got him, I think, on our last pull of the night that we started technically after our normal raid time would end. And we're just like, you want to do one more pull? Let's get one more pull, and we got it. So it's not an easy raid by any means. It's also a really fun raid if you get rid of all the trash that's in it. The encounters are fun. For the most part, there's maybe one or two that are like, I've just done them a lot, so I'm kind of over them, like the first 3 bosses. But the later tiers, I love the Raw Den fight. It's a lot of fun. Soccer Mom is fun. That's what we call the dark lady with the
name
Jara
for
in her
that.
room. I forget her name.
Her
We
name
call her
is-
Soccer Mom
her name
because
is
she has to
Soccer
play
Mom.
soccer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah. And I actually really like the Vexiona fight. It's simple enough, but it's also like all about execution. Like you have to do things right. If you stand in one place and don't move, or you stand in one place and move too much, you die. So there are a lot of fun fights and a lot of things that keep people engaged, even though for a lot of times you're just banging your head against the wall until everything finally clicks. And that's, in my opinion, like that's actually been the high point of BFA. Is there's a lot of stuff I haven't enjoyed. It's obviously been a very alt unfriendly expansion. The story was good, but there were some hits and misses. I can't believe I kept that Eye of N'Zoth on my character for as long as I did, when there's absolutely no payoff to do so. That irked me.
I still have it.
Me too.
I finally got rid of it a couple weeks ago. I said I'm done having my transmog ruined by this dumb eye. I need my helms back.
I know it really ruins the Wendigo onesie. Oh.
Yeah, like I had to try to build a transmog around that thing because I wasn't going to get rid of it, because they told me it was going to there was going to be some sort of payoff, and there wasn't. They lied. So, but the one highlight of BFA has been the raid encounters and some of the dungeons for me. Like there's a couple of Mythic Plus dungeons that are absolutely terrible that I can't ever see again in my life. Cough, Toltagor cough. But the raid experiences I've really enjoyed. Uldir was really fun. It was a pain in the butt sometimes, but really fun. Battle for Dazar'alor was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in Eternal Palace, and I've had a ton of fun in Nyalapa. So, like, I actually think that outside of all of the crud that people have problems with BFA, is like the raid tiers have actually been one of the upsides. Now, there's been issues other than that, but the actual like gameplay of the raids, I've really enjoyed, and that's what's kept me, and I think a lot of other people, engaged for so long, even though now we're well past the tail end of the expansion and we're all clamoring for Shadowland. That was a very long answer to your very short question, but there you go.
I loved it.
So I know a few people who, before they go into the Shadowlands, they want to say thank you to Jaina one more time for that amazing ship cannon and intro in the cinematic. So if people want to get part of one of those groups, in those groups they're killing Jaina. Oh,
yeah, well, defeating her. Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I'd say that killing someone with love is the best way to show them appreciation. So if someone wants to get involved in those Mythic Jaina groups, what's the best way to get involved with those?
There's the best way to get involved with any sort of raid team event is our Discord. Is to use our team channels for promoting events. They don't have to be official events run by me or anybody else on the officer team. If there's raid leaders out there that say, hey, we've gotten our AOTC, we're done with this, we want to set up a fun night where we go back to raid tiers where we can just blow through the content and get a couple people some mounts every week or so. A mythic Battle for Dazar'alor you can do with like 15 people nowadays, because you're 30-40 item levels higher than you were back then. You can just blow through it real quick. It doesn't take more than maybe an hour and a half to get through, because it's the numbers are just skyrocketed. So, but yeah, set it up that way. Get in touch with myself at that email address, or you can message me on Discord directly. You can, if you want to set something like that up, that'd be awesome. I would love to come along and join, because I want that mount, but also because I want to help promote this stuff. I know that Some teams are looking to do that at least internally, like with their own team, just to run it for a few times to get their own team members those mounts. But we have a lot of time to kill before the next expansion comes out, and that mount, the guaranteed drop of the mount will go away once Shadowlands comes out. Now the mount will still drop if it's like the other mythic raid mounts, but it'll go from a guaranteed drop, actually 2 guaranteed drops every kill, to like a 1% drop rate for 1 every kill. So if you try to go back and solo it in 2 expansions, you're going to be doing that a long time. Sorry, Marconin.
Well, I mean, like you were saying, though, we could do it now and be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What concerns me, though,
Yeah.
What concerns me though is I remember like Fraz brought up the pirate ship and the arcane cannons and the cinematic, which was very, very cool. It occurs to me that Jaina destroyed the Undercity in her off spec. How am I supposed to take her down in her main spec? That doesn't seem like mathematically that it'll work out.
Well,
or am I
Jaina
just more powerful than the Undercity?
Oh, you're definitely more powerful than the Undercity because you play Alliance.
Oh, there we go. All right, we got there.
That being said, also that, I mean, Jaina hasn't been raiding in 2 tiers, and you've been boosting up your gear level, so there's that too.
So, one question that I know, and maybe the answer might not be said tonight because maybe this is the time for some raid team leaders to possibly buy you some drinks at a future BlizzCon, but what is your favorite CTR raid team?
You mean besides the one that I'm on?
Yes. Doesn't have to be.
Oh gosh.
Or it can be the awesome Office reference that I only got this year because I watched The Office this year.
Oh yeah, no. Threat Level Midnight is definitely my favorite team. That's the team that I've been raiding on for 5 or 6 years now. Like almost, it's got to be almost 6. What's the guild? 7 years old? A little over 7 years old now. So yeah, about 6 years.
I don't
I've been
know.
with this
I
team.
got that trivia question wrong.
Dude.
So yeah, Threat Level Midnight definitely is the team that I've been on and have enjoyed raiding with those guys. Everyone drives each other crazy a little bit. We've had some near misses of raid team almost breaking up. In fact, Battle for Dazar Lore was a real test for us. There were a couple of rough nights in there, but we pushed through it and have come out. We have gotten AOTC in every tier since, I want to say Throne of Thunder, but I wasn't on the team back then. So I joined the team at the very end of Siege of Orgrimmar. But we've gotten AOTC every tier since then. But yeah, other than TLM, I'll say I'm trying to think of some teams that I keep coming back to. It's just a name thing. I love the name Bacon and Kegs.
Oh, so, yes.
I know one of one of the healers on my team raids with them as well, and I love that team name. And if I could get up at 6 a.m. on a Saturday to raid with them, I totally would. But that's way too early for me on a Saturday.
Barf, do you have a question?
Oh, the one you were talking about is that was the Jaina Ice question. I skipped.
I apologize. Okay, so it is my turn. Ash.
Yes, Sal.
Kiss, marry, kill.
Sal, Fraz, Barf.
Oh, yeah!
No, wait. That's not how the question's written. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
If CTR raid teams were people, which team would you marry? Which team would you kiss? And which team would you kill?
Gosh, I mean, I already feel like I'm married to TLM. We certainly bicker like an old married couple, so I'll say that. Which team? I don't think that's fair to ask which teams I would kill. That seems so mean.
Listen, gun to your head, kiss, marry, kill. That's how it works.
Oh gosh. I need to bring up a list of these teams then. Let's see if I can. Where is?
I don't know, man. Navox just dropped answers in the chat like he had them prepared. I'm just saying.
Um,
It can be done.
Convert to mythic kill.
I think I'm
Moses
not gonna lie.
kiss,
I think
face
well, you know,
full Mary.
TLM is definitely who I'm gonna marry. I would probably um I would probably kiss Facepole.
Oh yes, I
Uh,
would too because I got AOTC's last expansion the amount because Faithful. Thank you, Faithful.
um, let's see here. Um,
Gun to your
you
head,
know,
man.
gun to my head, I'm gonna say I'm gonna kill Rubber Chicken's Coalition.
No, no, Kara, run, Kara, run.
I don't know. I just felt like I knew that was coming. I was ready for it.
I
was
did-
like, he's
I
gonna
was like-
say.
It was. I was scrolling through teams and I saw that one, and that had to be it. So, yeah, it would free up a lot of players for other teams, though.
Ah!
That's true. Rubber Chicken Coalition does have every character in CTR in it, so.
And I think I might be helping bolster their ranks too by advertising them every once in a while.
Why? Are you 7 of their characters the way the rest of us are?
No, but I find that like in my community, a lot of my members, and a lot of my friends are on Rubber Chicken Coalition. So it's like, oh, you're Rubber Chicken, you're on Rubber Chicken. I mean, it's like, so I feel like I am on their team, but I'm not on their team. So I don't get credit for any of their AOTC stuff, but I support them.
Beautiful.
Excuse me, buddy. Watch out for that gnome!
So, Raid Liaison, you probably keep on top of the trends in WoW too.
I try. I can't say I'm always up on everything. At least once the race to world first race ends, or once the race to world first ends, it's kind of when I'm like, all right, just focus on our own raid team.
Okay, because WoW has been doing some stuff with Shadowlands, and
I've heard. Yes, I've heard.
What popular feature of a popular add-on are they adding to the game in Shadowlands?
Oh, is this a trivia question that I don't know the answer to?
If you've been following the news, then you'll know, because it might be deadly for that add-on. No, probably not, because the add-on does a lot of good job.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like Barf's trying to give me a little hint here, but I'm not sure what you're referring to.
So in Shadowlands, they are going to be adding the countdown timer from DBM to the main game.
Okay. Very cool.
Wait, when you do a countdown, that's part of the DBM add-on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So when you hear Coltrane's voice going 5, 4, 3.
Oh yeah, I guess
2.
it is.
Yeah, it's DBM. It's not base WoW.
Now,
Well,
I don't know if they're going to have that part, because I don't know if they've licensed to Coltrane. Now,
No,
it'd be cool if they did.
They should.
I have spent many hours drinking with Coltrane. I can tell you that if they asked him, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
As far as I'm aware, they haven't asked him.
We need you to come into the studio and count to 5 for us.
Yes.
Count down from 5.
And I also want to have you count down something. So on this show, we have a tradition. It's called Turarts Hard Question. So name every team that we will be talking about in our raid shoutouts tonight.
Every team that is in CTR.
No. In our raid report, every team that's progressed since the last show.
Oh, that requires me to have paid attention to progression over the last week or 2.
Yes, it does. I pay
that's
attention to
probably
that progression.
That's
It's very
probably something
important
that
to me.
someone named a raid liaison should do.
Yeah, so many people posted even today.
Yeah.
All
And-
right. So, obviously, threat level midnight, because we got our AOTC last week. I'm gonna guess. I remember seeing something about Rubber Chicken did have something going on. I think it was their first normal kill. And oh gosh, I remember Girls Gone Wild posted something. And there was something. The Classic Guild also had something, some post, but that's about all I can remember off the top of my head, like without cheating and going back and looking through the progression tabs.
So Sal, how do you do?
100% right.
You don't know. You don't have an appreciation of how many raid teams are actually still progressing right now.
It's kind of a lot.
Ash, there's not 2 or 3 or 4 raid teams. CTR progressing, continuously progressing right now, even though BFA is really old and Shadowlands is far away. No, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's only the people who posted in that progression. Convert to raid. The guild is doing fantastic.
There could be dozens of them.
Oh,
There are dozens of us, but no, there are lots of people raiding and progressing, and almost certainly more people, that didn't post and who are pugging into like super pugs or whatever, and LFR. But anyway, anyone in Convert to Raid needs to know that we are an active guild, and raiding is still very much going on. We got mythic stuff, absolutely. So yes, we asked you that really hard question just to spotlight that.
yeah, and to show that convert to raid is also convert to radical fun.
Yeah, that's what that question was about. You're right.
And we are also relentless.
If anyone was injured by that joke, please email ctrpain@gmail.com and we'll get you taken care of. Ash, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show tonight, man. Even though we hit you with like crazy random trivia at the end, and you were like, whoa, wait a minute, crazy random trivia. All of the rest of it, super, super, super great information. Had a ton of fun talking to you tonight. Before we cut you loose and let you go back and hang out with those 2 wonderful dogs who I assume exist, but haven't actually made it to be on camera yet, how can the whole world find you out there on the internet?
Well, the easiest way is my Twitter handle. It's just Ashtag Gaming on Twitter. And again, if you need to get in touch with me in terms of raid stuff for the guild, CTRraids@gmail.com.
Perfect. Again, do really, really appreciate having you on the show tonight. We are going to, what are we going to do next? We're going to kick it over to Fraz because he's got that frazzled thought, and then we're going to find our way into the team progression and the guild haps and the whatnots, right? All
That's
right.
right.
Let's get that frazzled thought from you, buddy.
So, in the Shadowlands, another thing that's happening is that the Lucid Nightmare and the Unicorn Mount and others will be able to fly. Finally, we all went into the Endless Nightmare, and then we tried to fly off of a cliff and plummeted to our death because it couldn't fly yet. So I'm wondering, what other things would we like to fly? Like, I'm rooting for the Mechanostriders, the fishing chair toy, the lovely picnic basket, the fishing raft, and others. I mean, kind of bring it in a Final Fantasy airship feel, but what would you like to fly in the Shadowlands that can't fly?
I want to pose this question to our very active chat room. Chat room, please answer that question. What would you like to fly? That's a good question, Presley.
Transmog Yak.
Oh, yes! be changing your transmog while you're flying.
Be flying around like I'm on Appa. It'll be good.
I mean,
Be good.
Sure, maybe Long Boy too, like something like ridiculous and heavy that
Yes.
could never possibly fly.
And that'd be like those those business people on a transatlantic flight, and they're like doing like changing stocks as they're going along, and like you could be flying, and you could be changing all of the auction house while you're flying.
Yeah.
Ooh. LC Knight in the chat room says the Azeroth choppers.
Oh yes.
Here's the reason that answer upsets me is because there's already a flying motorcycle in the game, and I didn't get to keep it.
What?
I went to the Badlands, and I did a quest line called The Day Deathwing Came. And the first one is where you have to punch that dragon in the face. And the second one was when you had to grab that dragon out of the sky and throw him into the sun. And the third one was when you had to fly your flying motorcycle with your cute girl who you picked up and put into the side cart up to Deathwing to attack him. And you had to fly your motorcycle up there. And that's the one I want. The flying side cart motorcycle.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I've done that one.
It's the best quest in the game. You need to go to the Badlands. Yeah. It's in the south left. And it's called The Day Deathwing Came. It's three. It's a dwarf, a gnome, and an orc all hanging out around a campfire together, and they talk about how they punched Deathwing in the face when he showed up in the Badlands.
I loved that one.
It's the best quest line ever.
You've got to do that one, Sal.
You gotta do it.
And plus, the flying motorcycle, it speaks to the Harry Potter in all of us.
It's so good.
That reminds me of the one that was in Pandaria, where people had different. There was like a squirrel or a raccoon or. Okay, you know what? I probably did this, but I probably did it in Kata, and I just don't remember it.
Do it again.
Yeah,
the characters, right?
And over in the chat room, we have a couple of answers. Enlarged mana buns. Someone was saying Tisuk says that they want to fly a cloud of green glowing dust. It will be called. Oh no! Ren.
Ren. Oh.
I don't appreciate your joke about my king.
Oh. Okay.
I'm banning this person now.
Oh.
Not really.
Tiber comes up with a good one,
in
though.
the Ren. Chat room.
Boo, not cool. Tiber brings up a good one, though.
Too soon.
The flying boat can't float. Maybe we should be able to, like, park the flying boat on the water and, like, have it make little waves. That's a good one. I would ride that.
100%.
Yeah.
Tibber, aka Tiber. Dude, I'm still reeling from that Rin. Oh man.
Oh, I know. I am just like, it just like crushed me.
Close the show. Oh my goodness, I can't even handle it anymore.
I just recognize that TJ Spanks is in the chat room right now, honey?
Hey Spanks.
Right now, I'm looking right now at your Twitter, and you've got a donut bigger than your head on the Twitter, and that makes me happy.
Sounds lovely.
Oh, Navox says the same thing. TJ Spanks has a donut. The other thing that makes me happy is all the kid photos and videos. Just you understand you have to keep posting those because your gamer family needs them. This little girl is growing up to be just the perfect nerd, and I love it. It's been 5 years. 5 years? 5 years since what? She says in the chat room it's been 5 years. I'm not sure. But they did come to BlizzCon. They did bring their baby. Since we've been outside, says Navox, it's been 5 years. Hey, yo, you know what? I touched another human being the other day.
You're not supposed to do that. That's dangerous.
Since I played WoW, she says. Wow. Okay. But you're still one of us.
Yes. And WoW never leaves you.
I think it was March 11th or 13th or something.
It is March
something
11th.
like that.
No, that's May.
That
We're in May.
keep your story to yourself. Oh, Ash, this is not a dirty story. Since I was had a drink with a friend, and he and I gave each other a elbow bump, and that was right before New York just shut down. And this past week, I went and got an antibody test to see if the flu that I had in March, was COVID. So I went to go get that test, and so I went to this urgent care place, and they got it. I rolled up my sleeve, and the guy goes to like put the needle in me, and I was like, that's the first time I've touched a human in like 8 weeks. And it was just a doctor. You know, when you know that you're not going to be around other people, it is a blessing in disguise because you don't have to shower that often.
What if you do need to be around other people and you just don't? You know what? What was the progression updates that we had?
We had good ones. We had some great ones. 4 of them Ash got correctly. But Frasley, do you want to start with Hump Day Heroes?
Absolutely. Hump Day Heroes have achieved AOTC 12 of 12 heroic and 12 of 12 normal.
Oh, man, congratulations, AOTC. Banana Republic is 10 of 12 heroic. Oh, they're almost there.
Yeah, they're going bananas. Go, bananas. Go, go. Allison is 12 of 12 normal and 10 of 12 heroic after a very hard fought and one battle with Il'gynoth.
Oh, you're my boy, Salad Senate. Bacon and Kegs is now 12 of 12 normal. Do you even say this? And 12 of 12 heroic. AOTC achieved. That's remarkable. Oh my gosh. That's wow. Okay. All right, Bacon and Kegs.
And and guess what? United Orgrimmar is 10 of 12 molten. No, 10 of 10 molten core. 1 of 1 Onyxia, and Zolgarub cleared.
Totally.
Nice.
They posted a really cool photo of them like posing around Ragnaros's like hammer and stuff. That was cool. Good. Oh man, that sounds like a lot of fun. It really does. Okay. Rubber Chicken Coalition is now 12 of 12 normal and 3 of 12 heroic with our first Zoth kill. What?
Yeah. And Kara, please run for Ash. Run for Ash.
Yeah, he's gonna get you.
Yeah. And because threat level Midnight is now AOTC, one-shot Carapace and killed heroic N'Zoth on their first night.
That's remarkable. Gruul's Gone Wow is 8 of 12 heroic. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. It's gonna happen. But the next time I talk about this, it's gonna be AOTC. What's up?
And I know Navox is gonna like me saying this. Facepull is at 4 of 12 mythic, and they've got AOTC. I was trying to do Coltrane.
I really like these mythic kills. Keep going. It's fine. It's 3 of 12 mythic. Working on mythic doggy next. Love this. And next up, I do want to know the shout outs. Does anyone in the chat room have shout outs? Please let me know. But right now, I'm going to read a few shout outs that I do have. Pasha says, when I can find some time to curl up and hang out with a converted CTR, it's the best. Hey, Pasha, thank you so much for being in the chat room tonight. That was a lot of fun. Bod Conian says, relentless AOTC, ready bunch, knockdown and Zoth normal, 5 of 12 heroic, and raw den. And these folks are just letting us know stuff on Twitter. Consider putting it into the progression chat as well.
And we have a shout out from chat. Ill Wills said, shout out to the nice doctor that provided Sal some much needed human interaction.
Oh dear.
It was just the shot in the arm he needed.
The shot in the arm that I needed. That was a Frasley pun.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay.
Points all around.
So now I think it's time for some of our personal shoutouts. Barf. Oh wait. I just misread this. Yeah, Barf. What is your personal shoutout?
Oh, gee. I would have to say that my shout out has got to go to. I normally brainstorm this while you guys are going because I'm supposed to go last. It's got to go to all of the intrepid officers of the Convert to Raid Guild who are still doing guild invites, who are still handling, all kinds of issues that come in hither and thither. I know that it has been a little tough to get everybody their invites recently. Everyone's schedules are a little bit different thanks to the COVID. But I just want to repeat that if you go to the CTR LFO channel in-game, or if you visit the the Looking for Officer chat channel in the Discord, we will see your messages. It's not always the case that there's going to be an officer online in-game in the moment that you message, but we do appreciate your patience while we try to get everybody in. Like Ash was saying earlier, these are all volunteers who are playing the game to enjoy themselves while they're home on quarantine, or maybe aren't on the same quarantine schedule, or not on a quarantine schedule at all compared to some of the other players. So lining everybody up can sometimes be a little bit of a challenge. So I know that it's been a little bit sort of hard going on some folks trying to get their invite because of, timing issues and things of that nature. But thanks so much for bearing with us while we try to get everybody taken care of, and you're welcome to come in. We just got to line that time up. Sal, what do you say?
I want to go ahead and read off Spanx. She put some shout outs, and TJ Spanx says, big shout out to my hubby, Pen Derriere.
I love that. I love that pun.
I didn't know this. She says, I had 3 strokes at the end of April stemming from a hole in the heart.
Spanx.
He has looked after me, and I love him forever. And baby Spanx, she's been a blessing. Spanx, I didn't know that.
Nice. We're really extra happy to see you in chat now. Holy smokes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hope recovery's going okay for you.
Your kid videos and photos they always make my day. They really, really do. She says she's getting it fixed this Thursday and that she's doing well.
That's good.
Wow. I'm sorry. Thank you for letting us know what's going on, and thank you for letting us know what's getting fixed.
Yeah.
And on Thursday. So I'll have to assume that your kid will update us on Twitter. Okay. Thanks for that, Spanx. Gosh. Okay. Fraz.
So I got to give a shout out to my nephew, who I totally pulled an uncle moment on today.
What?
So I was streaming and I get a message and it says, can I ask you a question? So I said, okay, chat. My nephew just asked me, can I ask you a question? I was like, I'm going to be an uncle, and say, you just did. And he responded to me and in real time gave me a facepalm emoji. So I was like, I have to be that uncle, you know. So, now, if you're listening, I don't know if you are or not, but just thank you for letting me be an uncle.
Stop. Are you going to be an uncle?
No, I am an uncle. I have a niece and three nephews, but I got to play the role of the uncle by like he says, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" I'm like, "You just did," and he's like, "Oh," and he never,
because it's an uncle joke.
yeah, and he never ever responded back to me with the question, but it was one of those. I felt good, and chat laughed along with me, so I was like, "Yes."
Well, thank you for everyone on Twitter who keeps me entertained. There's so much great stuff, and especially the good stories. I appreciate how much positivity there is out there right now, and keep it coming because your girl needs it. You know, and I think we all need it.
Yeah.
So, you know, you might be on other social media platforms, but if you're on Twitter, you know, I can see it. So, thanks for everyone who's posting all the good stuff, and you know, keep it coming.
And I'm gonna pull an extra shout out because I don't know if we mentioned it before, but check out if you want a threat level midnight of awesome good news. Some good news with John Krasinski, who played Jim on The Office.
Yeah.
That is a shot in the arm of amazing feelings every time that you.
I cannot watch that without crying.
But it makes you feel good. It releases.
It's such a feel-good thing.
It is.
People doing nice things for people.
I know, and you just said that you want more of that. So see, I was like, if people want Jim from The Office, can be Jim to our lives and our home offices.
They had people posting filming for Some Good News on the International Space Station.
Nice. Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow.
Yeah, I love this. Yeah.
Well, that seems like a
All
nice
right.
little note to end the show on. I'd like to thank Navox and Geek Chic Lisa for our theme music. You can find us all over on Twitter at converted_CTR. Sal is at summer_Sal. Frasley is at Frasleytastic, and I am at a bonus level. When's the next episode planned for?
2 weeks. It's 2 weeks from now.
Sweet.
Usually have a date, and this is the second week in the row that I, kind of don't.
May 25th.
Thank you. May 25th. We'll be here live.
Perfect. For Sal.
Good night.
For Frasley.
Good night and be awesome. And maybe one day you can have the Just Space Station making video for you.
And for myself. We'll see you next time, everybody.
You can follow the show on Twitter at converted_CTR. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Converted Podcast. And find us on our Twitch channel, Converted Podcast. And join us live every other Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really.
Is that donut real or is that Photoshop?
It's actually it's photoshopped, but it's not photoshopped to look bigger. It's photoshopped to look smaller. It's the giant donut that in California, the one that it's on the top of that donut eatery, the one that Tony Stark was sitting in Iron Man 2. It's that donut, and they shrunk it down.
It's not pink.
It can be whatever color it wants to be. It's Photoshop.
You're right. Such a blessing to have Spanx here tonight. And Pasha towards the beginning. That was nice too. Oh gosh. Spanx for real though. I think it's Photoshop because your eye looks really big. Anyway. That was good. There was a lot of information there. And we deleted a couple of questions. I think that was a good thing.
Yeah, was the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, we already ran a little long, but like...
We definitely did.
Yeah, there were... The conversation went places that, like, asking the question in that moment would have derailed the flow of things, and it was the right move. Cool. Yeah, good show.
Cool.
I'm worried that I have a small pimple in the middle of the back of my neck. Do I have to do something about that? It seems scary.
That's why you have a
I
girlfriend.
don't like small pimples.
I have eczema in the back of my neck. And right here. How do you find yourselves losing less toilet paper by hopping in the shower? Using less toilet paper by hopping in the shower and hosing off instead? It's as a way to slow your roll.
Perfect.
Okay, real talk. I often take a shower after pooping. That's it. Frasley, you're muted.
How long have I been? I've been trying.
You've been muted since
About halfway through the episode.
at least the music.
I was saying, Navox, that's a crappy. Oh, that's so crappy. And you know, I still wipe and wash my hands before jumping in the shower.
Listen, I played The Sims when it first came out, and it really, really changed my life in a lot of ways. And I've told different stories, but one of the things was once you poop, you're dirty until you take a shower. So this is just ingrained in me now because of this freaking video game. I very often take a shower after I poop. I do.
But this is what. Never mind.
You wipe and wash your hands and then take a shower. If I'm taking a shower, I usually skip the washing the hands.
I do because I'd feel icky having unclean hands, and plus
I'm taking a shower. Like generally, I wash my hands 100% of the time. Oh, talking to Fraz. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yes.
He just went to go wash his hands.
No, gotta get my fancy top hat, or not top hat. Yes, I do wipe and wash my hands before using the shower. Thank you very much.
Only the fanciest of people.
Navox, if poop is moderated, it's clearly your fault.
Yeah. Pretty sure. I hate to be the one.
I haven't had dinner yet.
I am very tired.
I'm all good too, because I
also, that was a long interview. It was good, but it was long, and I'm ready. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, chat room, for an awesome job.
It's been a treat. Thanks everybody for coming out.
Cool.
Bye.